Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Christina Garcia, also known as Teacher Tina. Here on my channel, I like to share helpful videos to new and aspiring and veteran online teachers. So in this video, I'm hoping that you'll learn lots of information about Zebra English. I'm interviewing 3 people who are very involved in Zebra English. So if you would each take a moment and introduce yourself, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kevin. I'm a member of the Zebra English Teacher Management Team, and my title is Strategy Operation Consultant. Thank you for having me, Tina.
Sure.
Hello, Zach and me here. My name is Joanne Foster, and I am a mentor teacher with Zebra English as well as a referring teacher, and I've been with Zebra English since the beginning of their one-on-one platform in 2019.
Hello, my name is Byron Chismadia, and I have been with Zebra English for just a little over 2 months. And I am loving the company, loving the platform, and my bookings are full.
That's awesome. Well, Kevin, Joanne, Byron, it's such an honor to have you here with me today. First, I'm going to do a little interview with Kevin, then we'll move on to Joanne and then Byron. So Kevin, first things first, please tell us a little more about what you do at Zebra English.
Okay, so my main focus at Zebra English is to make strategy for our teachers. I can give you an example. One thing that we are currently working on is changing the raise requirements. So we need to find a way to reward teachers who put a lot of time and effort into Zebra English and also keep a reasonable cost for the company.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I know that you are very involved in Zebra English and we appreciate everything that you do. So what is Zebra English anyway? For people who maybe haven't heard of Zebra English, what is it and what makes Zebra English different in your opinion?
So Zebra English is a fast-growing ESL company developed by Yuan Fudao. And now we have over 2 million students using our AI-based app to learn English, math, art, and music. And as our customer base continues to expand, we started the one-on-one class in 2019 to help students to practice what they have learned in their AI class. And I would say there are 2 things that distinguish Zebra English with other companies. Is that the first is that we have consistent bookings. Teachers don't need to worry about their bookings for the next week or next month, because the time slots will be filled with your regular students every week. And the second difference is that our students are well prepared before coming to class because they have been learning the material on their app for the whole week. So you only need to practice with them rather than teaching them basic words. I think those are the 2 things that are different with other companies.
Awesome. Thank you, Kevin. And what improvements do you see Zebra English making? I know that you already mentioned the raise requirements. Can you think of anything else that people can look forward to?
There are definitely many things we improved in the last 2 years, but the one most important thing I think is we learned how to maintain a high booking rate. Because we don't want to have too many new teachers to overwhelm the system. And also we need to have enough teachers so that every student can learn. So we developed a simulation to predict how many new teachers are we going to need for the next month, next quarter, so we can maintain a high booking rate, and it's really important for teachers.
Absolutely. And I know that we've talked about how Zebra English really needs new teachers. So just throwing that out there. So my next question for you, Kevin, is what do you like about Zebra English?
One thing that I really enjoy working at Zebra English is that Zebra English is a flat organization, which means everyone is involved in the decision-making process. So I'm a junior staff at Zebra English, and I joined Zebra English for a little bit over a year, but I have had meetings with our vice president, and he doesn't even have his own office. And I think that helps a lot with decision making, because every decision is well thought, and also every staff can explore their potentials. And we utilize that method to work with teachers. That's why we have the one-on-one meeting with our teachers on a regular basis, because we really need input from our teachers. And another thing that I really like is that every staff in Beijing is very passionate about what they do. I think those are the two things. Also, the reason why Zebra English is growing so fast.
Awesome. Yes. And since we know that it's growing, we know people are applying, what should people know before applying?
One thing that I want teachers know before applying is that we do believe the regular teachers, regular students learning model is the best way to teach English, also the best way to learn English, especially for little kids, because you can really build the connection from teachers and the students, so the student can feel comfortable to speak a second language, and the teachers can know the students and can know what's the students' learning habits, so make teaching more efficient. I think that's really important for teachers before applying.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin. It's so interesting to hear from your perspective. Now I'd love to hear from Joann. So Joann, you are not new to Zebra English at all. Why did you start with Zebra English? First things first.
Well, who can resist such a cute face? No, seriously, when I first heard about Zebra English, it was from another teacher, and I was with another platform, getting bookings there, and very happy with that platform. So Zebra English was supposed to be my backup platform, right? Just to fill in a few holes here and there. But after I started with Zebra English, I fell in love with Zebra English. But what attracted me to them initially was the long-term students, having those regular students, and that's what I wanted, because on the other platform I didn't have long-term students. I might see them one week and not again the next week, but with Zebra English I could build those relationships with the students. And so initially that's what attracted me, having those long-term regular students that I could build a relationship with.
Awesome. Thank you, Joann. So in addition to having those long-term relationships with your students, what are some other things that you like about Zebra English?
There are so many things that I could say about Zebra English. Now, remember I said they were supposed to be my backup company, but I quickly moved them to my only company now, okay? So, but what I saw as a difference between the two platforms when I first started was that, one, I would see these students every week. I would build this relationship with them. Two, the teaching method for working with these students at Zebra English and according to their platform, it was so much more fun. At first, I thought, oh, more TPR, not as many props. You know, I really liked my props. But the more I worked with Zebra English and teaching their students and knowing that they had already worked in this AI app, so they came more prepared, many of them had their parents right there with them, supporting them, then it was so much more engaging to teach. And really, we're not teaching, we're reviewing with our students, okay? But having that TPR and using that method of teaching, I could focus more on my students and being engaged with them. And it was just so much more fun to teach with them. And I had to do less preparation to teach with Zebra English too, because I'm focused on the lesson and engaging with them. So that was one of the main reasons. Also, them being prepared, like I said, from the AI app, that was huge. And then the atmosphere at Zebra English. Just like Kevin mentioned, every teacher feels important with Zebra English because we're not a number, and so many have said that. We are a name. Zebra English knows who we are. They have these one-on-one meetings with us to get our feedback, and if you want to meet with Zebra English or you have something you feel like you need to share with them, then they will take the time and meet with you. And so I really appreciated that about Zebra English. And the teaching community, it's a great teaching community. It's positive, it's encouraging. Do we have issues that we have to address? Of course. I mean, every platform has issues that will need to be addressed from time to time, or issues that teachers aren't as happy with. But the great thing is that it's done in a positive way. And so their official page has been such an encouragement to so many of us. In fact, I had a teacher recently just say that she felt like she was family with Zebra English, and she had found where she needed to be because of the encouragement and the community. We call ourselves the Zebra English family, and that's what it feels like being a part of the Zebra English community.
Wonderful. Sounds like a lot of reasons why somebody should at least give Zebra English a try. My next question for you is, what should people know before applying? Since you've helped so many people get hired, I'm sure you've seen a lot of things. What should people know before they even take that first step?
Okay, so with Zebra English, the first thing to know is that Zebra English is not like any other platform that you have applied with, okay? So remember that when you're thinking about applying, because you really need to pay attention to the materials that Zebra English sends out, the videos, all the steps, the tips that they give you. Pay attention to those, because as an interviewer, and I have interviewed hundreds of teachers because I have been with Zebra English as a mentor teacher since the beginning of their mentor program. And we onboarded lots of teachers, hundreds, if not over 1,000 teachers last spring. And we're in that same situation right now where we want to bring on many more teachers. But what we see as interviewers is that candidates have not paid attention to what Zebra English has told them or what we have told them in our videos. And when you don't pay attention, it's going to be hard to pass Zebra English's demo. And it's not because Zebra English's demo is so difficult. It's because they have a certain rubric and they need you to pay attention to what they want in a teacher. Now, why is that? Because they are a system booked platform and not a parent booked platform, which means they have to guarantee these parents that they have excellent teachers. And in order for them to have excellent teachers that meet their standards and the parents' expectations, then they have a more specific rubric, I'll say. Not that it's difficult, just more specific rubric that they need you to pass, okay? So pay attention to the materials that Zebra English sends you. And if you do, you can pass their interview process and their whole application process.
Awesome. Thanks, Joanne. I have one more question for you. Would you mind specifying just a couple more pitfalls? Like, what specifically have you recently been seeing people get hung up on in the hiring process itself?
Okay, absolutely. I'll be glad to give some tips. First of all, again, because it's a more specific rubric, make sure that you study those materials and that you do not try to wing it. Okay, we can tell ones that have not paid attention to what Zebra English has said. And if they don't pay attention to it, then they will not pass it. We have had other applicants come in with no referring teacher, but they have followed everything that Zebra English has told them. They've passed it. Okay. If you can get a referring teacher and you haven't already applied, then a referring teacher is definitely a help because they know the ins and outs of teaching at Zebra English and they have experience and they can help you with that. So that's a help too as you're thinking about applying. Then also pacing. Just make sure that your pacing is within 15 to 18 minutes. Do not go over that, okay? And then sentence output. Something that we've been seeing recently is that applicants will not get sentence output on every slide, and you want to try to do that. Remember your transitions between the slides, that you're saying, next, let's go, here we go, something like that to let the student know you're moving on from one slide to the next. Okay, and then also timing. Zebra English wants you to move through the process in a timely manner. And so this is very important because I've had some of my applicants run into this and they will get denied like at the first step And the reason being is because they did not communicate with Zebra English, and Zebra English wants you to pass that next step or to turn that like intro video in within 48 hours. Now, it's okay if you cannot do it within 48 hours, but you need to communicate with Zebra English. Email them. Let them know that you are going to do that, okay? Because so many don't turn in the intro video, which I'm not sure why, but make sure that you do that first step and communicate with them so that they know you are still interested and want to move through with this process. But again, I cannot reiterate enough. Pay attention to everything Zebra English sends you. Read that email piece by piece. Do not forget your headset with a microphone. That's something that's so simple, but when teachers don't do that, I mean, that can be the difference between you passing and not passing. So read every bit of information that they send you and then practice, practice, practice. They give you the practice classroom, so practice in that practice classroom. And it's a very heavy game-based platform. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to the resources they give you in the resources section, know how to operate all of those games. And on the presentation, when it says demonstrate and then work with the student and then have the student do it, that is the modeling technique, okay? And that is a speech practice. So make sure that you read the sentences and show them how to do that speech. And then you practice it with the student, you know, like I will say it, you repeat it and do those sentences back and forth that way. And then lastly, don't forget to get the student to output it on their own. You are listening as they read it line. Yes. Okay, let me get that correct. If you're the applicant, make sure when you're teaching that you as the teacher, I'm confusing myself because I'm the interviewer, but anyway, that you get that student, which is me, an interviewer, to read every line of that while you're listening, okay? And then one more thing I just thought about too. It is not say repeat. Just like Kevin mentioned earlier, this platform with Zebra English, they have the AI app and they've worked in it. So if you come into the interview and you're used to other platforms and you get the student to repeat something 3 times, or if you're just saying everything and having the student repeat, that's almost a definite fail for you because we are not a say repeat platform because our students have worked in the AI app, okay? So again, just pay attention to those materials and also, you know, anything that you've heard from any of the referring teachers. Thank you, Tina.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joann. You are just a wealth of knowledge. Joann also has a YouTube channel. I will be linking it in the video description below, so be sure to give her some love on her channel and check out what she has on there. Yes, thank you, Joann. All right, so now we are going to move on to asking questions to Byron. So Byron, what hesitations, if any, did you have before jumping into Zebra English?
Well, actually, I had no hesitations whatsoever. When I initially did my first research into online ESL companies, Zebra English was the first company that I became interested in. But at the time when I was interested in applying, they weren't accepting applications. So, I mean, I liked how they presented themselves. I liked the fact that they booked their students, their regular students, long-term with teachers. I liked all of those features, but I wasn't able to apply with them. So it was a real blessing for me when I looked into them about 6 months later and saw that they were actually accepting applications, and I applied, and here I am.
Here you are. Awesome. So now that you have been with Zebra English for a couple of months, what do you like about it? I mean, I'm guessing you still like what you thought you would like, but what else do you also like?
Well, one of the things that, and I don't think anybody else has mentioned this, is their communication with their teachers is just, it's astounding. You know, you know, some people might say, oh my gosh, I get, you know, 500 emails in my, you know, email box every day. But you know what? I'd rather have the emails communicating with me, telling me, you know, what classes I've been booked with, what classes have been canceled, if classes have been canceled. They're really on top of communicating with their teachers, and you know, making sure that we have our schedules straight, well ahead of the game. Yeah. So, and also even more importantly, and I think Kevin mentioned this, you know, doing the one-on-one versus one meetings with contract teachers, and just picking their brains and saying, you know, tell us what you think, and tell it. I've never seen it in an ESL company. I mean, granted, my experience is limited. These guys are the third ESL company I've been with, but you know, still, I've never seen anything like that in an ESL company, where they're asking the teachers, tell us, how can we be better? You know, so, you know, to me, that's, I love that about them.
Right.
The communication. Yeah.
And not just asking, but then doing something with that information, right?
Well, and certainly, yeah, you know, I think they do, you know.
Awesome. So that all sounds great, but what about for new teachers? Is there something that's challenging that you think people just should be aware of when they're starting out?
I think I think anytime a teacher starts with a new ESL platform, you know, the challenge is mastering the platform, mastering, you know, the interactivity of the platform, and how you work that. Personally, I find, you know, Zebra English quite simple in terms of you know, the usability of the platform. But as Joanne mentioned, you know, there's games, you have to understand how those games work. But the beautiful thing about Zebra English is they have, you know, 1 million videos in their resources section that explain how every single slide and every single game works. So, you know, any teacher that says, oh, I have no idea how this works, well, you haven't been paying attention, right? Because all they have to do is click on the resources section and go through the different videos on, you know, how do you do this slide? How do you do this slide? How do you do this slide? Zebra English is very polished and very, very, you know, well put together in terms of, you know, that sort of communication. How do you use our platform? So yeah, but that's, you know, I mean, that's a challenge for any teacher. How do you use the new platform? How do you make it work? Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. It's good that Zebra English has kind of nipped that in the bud, and they have the resources there so that when people maybe get confused about how something works, bam, right there's a resource for them. Joanne, I saw you unmuted. Would you like to add anything to that?
Yes, I was thinking about what Kevin said about the improvements that Zebra English has made over the last 2 years. And I can attest to that, because when I first came onto the platform, of course, it was before regular students had even been put through. We were just demo testing it with a few students. But we had 3 resource videos, and that was it to our portal. I mean, it was very bare bones. And the 3 resource videos were just like 3 minutes long. So to look at the resources section now and to see everything that Zebra English has added has been amazing in the last 2 years. They have come a long way, and it can only keep getting better from here. And one other item that I wanted to mention that I didn't initially, that when you have consistent, regular students, guess what that means? Consistent, regular pay. So to me, that's one of the best selling points for Zebra English.
Awesome.
Thank you, Tina.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she perked up. She's ready. Awesome. Thanks, Joanne. So Byron, since you've been getting established at Zebra English, I'm curious to hear, and I hope it's not too personal, what are some goals that you have in Zebra English?
Well, as I mentioned before, I really like the idea of getting regular long-term students. So in other words, I'll just give a sort of a quick definition of a regular long-term student. If I get booked with a regular student, that means I have that student the same time slot every week for the rest of my contract. And if my contract is renewed, potentially into my next contract, okay? Because a lot of times what we see when I get the email notification, it says, oh, you've been booked with this student for the next 48 classes. Well, I don't have 48 classes in my contract. So in other words, and this is, I mean, this is my, maybe Joanne can clarify this, but this is my interpretation of it, that, okay, well, if my contract is renewed, that student will still be mine in the renewed contract, and that student will carry on into my next contract. So that really, I really love that, and that has nothing to do with my goals, but but the thing was that has to do with my goals, because my goal was within my first 3 to 4 months. I was thinking, okay, well, it would be great if I could get 50 regular students. I kind of had this idea in my mind, okay, this is how much money I want to make, and if I can get 50 regular students, I'll be in that ballpark, okay? So, okay, I'm hesitant. In my first 6 weeks, I hit my target, okay? In my first 6 weeks, I had 50 regular students. And since then, I now have more. So it's been a real blessing to me in terms of, the number of regular students I have. And I don't think a lot of people realize, the beauty of the Zebra English incentive plan and how the regular students work. But, you get a bonus of, I think it's, and Joanne can correct me, but I think it's 50 cents per regular student taught after 4 classes. So in other words, once I hit my 5th class that I've taught with that student, I am earning an extra. So now I have a 50-cent raise, 50 cent per class raise on that student. And if you think about it, you got 50 students. Well, that's an extra $25 a week, which works out to $100 a month. So you're earning an extra $100 a month just by teaching these guys on a regular basis. So, the incentive program is really good that way. So yeah.
Awesome.
Did I answer the question?
Yeah, you already hit the goal that you were hoping to achieve, so that's awesome. And hopefully you will pump the brakes a little bit so that your dog Max doesn't get neglected. And
I don't know where he went. He's gone.
Yeah, that's great, Byron. Congratulations on that. One more question I've asked each of the other 2. What should people know before applying?
I think this has been touched on a bit, but I think the most important thing that prospective teachers need to understand is that the business model Zebra English is based on is matching teachers with regular students. That they're going to teach for the duration of their contract, and hopefully with a renewed contract they will teach beyond that. and this isn't to say that, you know, a teacher who signs on to Zebra English can't open, you know, slots one week and then open fewer slots or different time slots the following week. Okay, teachers that want to do that, you know, will primarily receive supplementary, will probably primarily receive supplementary bookings. I don't even know if Zebra English would book trial bookings with them, because there's no potential for conversion. If the trial booking converts, then I mean, my experience has been the majority of my trial bookings have converted and have become my regular students. So, you know, if you don't have a regular schedule open, how can they be booked, right, as regular students? So that's the key thing, is understand that Zebra English wants to book teachers with consistent regular bookings with regular students. And, you know, if teachers understand that, then, you know, I think they're in a great place, because they can, you know, they can schedule themselves, right? You don't have to open every single slot every single day. You don't have to. I made that mistake. But, you know, you don't have to open every single slot every single day. You can say, okay, I'm going to open, you know, five days a week, and here I go. And those slots will be filled. And that's the one thing, from my experience, my short-term experience with Zebra English, whatever slots you open, they will be filled. So, yeah. So just make sure you understand what the model is, and what the objectives are of Zebra English, which is to match up long-term students with teachers. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Byron. It's so valuable to get varied perspectives on Zebra English. And surely Zebra English is not the perfect fit for everybody, but as you can see, it has been a good fit for several people, many people. So I hope that you've learned something through this video. I would love to hear in the comments below any comments or questions that you have for anybody in this video. I will share those comments with them. And then if you have questions specifically for me, or you'd like to get started, you can look at the video description below. I have my link and I have my email address. As I mentioned before, I have Joann's YouTube channel link in there as well, and I have the email address that you can use if you need to communicate directly with Zebra English for any reason. All right, well, thank you so much for being here. Give this video a like, a thumbs up if you liked anything that you heard to make us feel loved. All right, thanks everybody, and happy teaching. Bye.